Swift has moved its escapes upmarket considerably for 2022, and this is one of the results. It's the 640 and it's a full four-berth. All the 2022 escapes are based on Fiat Ducato, and you get a grey metallic cab as standard, and then there's this Swift bodywork, predominantly in white, but with some rather attractive graphics. They've actually really gone to town with these decals. Makes for a really smart looking vehicle, especially as you've got alloy wheels as well, and then things like this habitation door with a full length window to it, flush fitting. The windows themselves are partly flush fitting. The bodywork is GRP, and there are bike rack fixings on the back. So these escapes get Fiat's 140 brake horsepower engine as standard. There is the option to upgrade to 160, and there's also the chance to go for automatic transmission. If you do either of those, it's going to cost you. It's not particularly cheap. But for most people, this 140 brake horsepower engine with 6-speed manual transmission will be more than sufficient. It's got a good turn of speed, good acceleration, you get a good cruising speed as well, and it's all very comfortably quiet. Fiat's cab is all very familiar, even though it's had several upgrades for 2022. You've got a new look steering wheel with controls. Swift give it an infotainment system on the dashboard here with touchscreen control. There's cup holders in the console, upgraded vents, and escapes all get these cab blinds as well, a system that works particularly well and doesn't get in the way when you're driving. Here is one of the two travel seats. They both operate the same way. They fold up from this settee bases, and then there's a bit of cushion rearranging to get everything in place. The seats themselves have headrests that have adjustment, and you can adjust the backrest angle as well. And they have Isofix. They're not ideal, but they're a good compromise. So here's the lounge in the 640, two settees, and then both cab seats swivel as well. Got a little bit of a height differential between the settees and the cab seats, but they can be lowered slightly. You'll notice the fixed pedestal leg table here. It's got electrical height adjustment, and it's also got manual fore and aft adjustment. And also this neat little trick where you can just fold it in half if you want access to the rest of the living quarters. Good light coming in. There's the two side windows, and then there's all the cab windows, and then there's an opening sunroof overhead as well. Couple that with the very light coloured upholstery, and this really does feel very spacious and indeed comfortable. So this is a full four-berth, of course, and here's one double bed that you can make from the seating downstairs, and then the main double bed is up here. Now, if you're using it as two, you can bring this bed all the way down if you wish. It just operates electrically. That's at its low setting. It will actually go even lower. If you were to remove the seating cushions and put them on the floor, you could go right down to what, knee level or so for the easiest of access. Also for ease of access, notice the cutaway on the mattress here. It just means you can get to the habitation door as needed. It's a one-piece mattress from Duvalet, very comfortable. Lots of room around the bed as well, although if you're in danger of falling out, there's lots of netting you can put up to give yourself that bit of extra protection. So it's a great bed, probably best as a two-berth, but it's nice to know you've got the facility if you want to sleep four. This is quite a sizable kitchen, especially when you've got this worktop extension up. It's quite a big worktop extension. It does impede a little bit into the lounge, but well, it's probably worth it for the chef. Big sink as well in stainless steel. And then you've got a Thetford Triplex Plus cooker with 3 gas rings and an electric hot plate, as well as a combined oven and grill. There's a microwave oven as well, and that's flanked by these 2 lockers. The one on the right has a plate rack storage, and the one on the left has a pod for your mugs. There's also a locker above the microwave. And then details include the 2 main sockets here. There's a light control switch. There's a splashback panel around the window. And then there's good storage down here in this curved unit where, as well as shelving, you've got a slide out cutlery tray. Across the corridor, there's a Dometic fridge with a removable freezer, so it's a good, generous capacity. And it's also got this little fancy design where you can open it from both sides. So there's a step up into the washroom here. Access is via this tambour door. And then you have space for a full shower cubicle over on my right. And that comes with an Eco Camel shower head on a riser bar, folding doors. There's a little plastic inset to put your shampoo bottles and soaps, etc. Just the 1 plug hole in the shower tray. And then over on my left, there's a fixed basin inset into the worktop, and then a Thetford swivel bowl toilet. There's storage on this side in terms of a upper level locker with a shelf and a locker underneath the basin, again with a shelf. The biggest surprise in here, of course, though, is this behind me, where open this up and you've got the wardrobe, and it's massive. It doesn't quite have full hanging height, but there is a rail all the way across, and then there's shelving, so you really can put all your clothing and other gear in here. So lots of details to talk about in this Escape. Good lighting. There's reading lights on stalks at the front, and then there's this ambient lighting either side, as well as in the underside of the bed. Main sockets seem to abound everywhere. Swift have been particularly generous there. There's 2 in the kitchen, and then there's 1 at high level either side of the cab seats. Underfoot, you've got carpet sections. There's a waste bin in the habitation door. The electrics panel is all up here. So you've got a smoke alarm and a carbon monoxide alarm above that. And then the electrics here, all controlled, all very intuitive. And there's the Truma controls, sockets for a TV here, and USB double socket there, as well as double USBs either side of the bed. So that's the Escape 640, a new model for 2022 in a range that's moved considerably upmarket for 2022. It's a full 4-berth. It looks great inside and out. It's great value for money. I think you'll really like it.